Hi, I'm Joan Brager. I teach leadership to people around the world. I teach to people who want to make a difference, such as scientists who are working in cancer research, leading teams to make breakthroughs. I work with doctors and nurses in rural areas in the developing world. And I also work with parents who are trying to raise more productive and healthy children. My work is about leading for results. I teach individuals, teams, and organizations, and I work with 5 clear and simple practices that have shown to produce results. The first practice is clarifying your mission and your purpose, being extremely clear about what you are here to do, either in this life or in this organization. The second practice is envisioning a better future. Actually seeing a picture in your mind of what it will look like when you accomplish your mission. The third thing is framing your challenge, picking a measurable result that you can accomplish in 6 months and identifying the obstacles in your way, and then saying, how are we going to achieve this result in light of the obstacles we're facing? When you have that leadership challenge framed, you begin to align stakeholders to support you. And this is critical. No one gets anything done alone. You need support, and you need to learn how to bring people into your challenge. And the 5th practice is continuous learning and adaptation. How do we learn from our situation and improve? I've been privileged to teach this process around the world, from managers in multinational companies, United States, Asia, and Europe, to doctors and nurses in rural areas in Afghanistan, Egypt, and countries across Africa. With all of these people, I have found that the same 5 simple practices enhances their results. And I want to share a story about this. In 2005, I was working in rural Afghanistan in a province called Bamyan. This is a place where the large Buddhist statues were blown up. And I was working in a very simple room. It had no electricity. We were using the light from one window. And there were health teams there, and they were working to improve the conditions for their people. So the first thing they did was clarify their purpose. What was the mission of the Ministry of Public Health? And they talked and they discussed it and they identified that their purpose was to improve the health of women and children in their area. Once they had this clarified, they actually began to draw pictures of what would this look like if they accomplished this mission. And they drew pictures of healthy children walking to schools on safe roads. This was an extremely moving vision to me because, first of all, many of us already have healthy children who walk to school on safe roads, and we forget to appreciate this as much as we need to. Once they saw this vision in their mind, they had to pick a measurable result that would get them closer to it, something that was within their control, that they had resources that they could accomplish. So they chose increasing the number of children being immunized. The current number of children being immunized was 10% of the children in the area. And even though the facility had the resources to immunize them, people were not coming to the health facility to use them. So they began to analyze, why weren't children coming to be immunized against diseases such as polio and diphtheria? And they found that many of the obstacles were in people's feelings and thinking and belief. Many of the villagers did not think that the government health facility was working in their interest and didn't think immunizations were the right thing to do. So the team framed their leadership challenge. How do we increase the number of children being immunized in light of the obstacle that people don't trust the health facility? So to address this challenge, the team, including a vaccinator who was a tall man in traditional dress and a turban, went out to the remote areas, and first they educated the village leaders, including the religious leaders, about the importance of immunization. Then it was those local leaders who educated the families and encouraged them to have their children vaccinated. In 6 months, they achieved their goal. The rate of immunizations of young children increased from 10 to 60%. The health team was so inspired by this that they began to take on other challenges they could accomplish with their own resources. 6 years later, health teams across Bamyan and across Afghanistan are continuing to use this simple process to lead for results. They clarify their purpose and envision a better future, and a future that's inspiring to them, that they care about. They frame a leadership challenge. How will we accomplish this result in light of the obstacles we have to face? And then they align their stakeholders to support them, and they continuously learn and adapt to face their challenge. These practices, simple as they seem, come from the best thinking about leadership development around the world, including Harvard and MIT. They come from my own doctoral research at Harvard that validated these as practices of people who lead for results. In my book, Leading for Results, I illustrate how these are used around the world, and then I provide simple exercises that readers can apply, whether they're mid-level managers, team leaders, community activists, or even people who are not part of any formal organization who want to achieve a result in their lives. I've been privileged to witness people in the worst of circumstances who have applied this process to improve their lives, not only in Afghanistan, but in dozens of countries around the world from Haiti to South Sudan. These are people with few resources other than their commitment, their hearts, and their minds, and they've learned to achieve results. I invite others to learn these practices to change the world for the better, one result at a time.